Scott Ruscoe, you wrote in this week's column in the Advertiser that you've got an opportunity that you don't want to let slip through your fingers, and it hasn't, because today you've been officially appointed first team manager here at the New Saints.
Yeah, it's a proud moment. Obviously, been at the club since 2001 and playing so many games, etc. Everyone knows how long I've been here and what I think about the club. So it's a proud moment. I feel in a good place at the moment. It's one where you get given the interim role and everyone looks at it and sort of thinks, is he up to the job? Can him and Steve Evans follow on and be as successful and things like that. So I'm glad. Obviously it's been announced today that I've got the chance to become manager of this football club, and I'm very pleased.
And you mentioned the interim role. Well, that was a baptism of fire because you came in for some very tough Champions League games. How do you feel that went overall from a potential management perspective?
Yeah, the 4 games, I thought the 2 first rounds games against Europa FC were tough and a bit of a different sort of game to what we were used to in the last few rounds. So I felt that this team was probably the best what we faced in the last few years in the first round. So to come out of that and to win away in the style we did was very pleasing, and I knew then that the group was sort of behind myself and Steve. They gave their all on that evening in Portugal, which was very pleasing, because once the players are on your side and you feel that you've got their respect, you feel that you can do the job yourself, and you know that you will give it your best. The second round tie we always knew it was going to be very difficult. A top European side, the Croatians, some good international players. I thought we did really well away from home. We coped well. I thought we could have even snuck that away goal, and on maybe another day we could have come away with a 2-1 loss. On another day maybe it could have been 3 or 4-1. But I felt we defended very well in difficult circumstances, going there and performing very admirably. And the home tie, I thought we coped okay for 40, 41, 42 minutes, but then obviously the bubble burst. It was sort of someone putting a pin in us, and I just felt that all our emotions and all the hard work were just there to be seen. It was like we'd been shot at. But I thought overall in the 4 games, we've learned something, and if you learn something from every time you go on the pitch, then it gives you invaluable experience. And I feel that the players have responded brilliantly to the situation.
And back to the Europa game in Portugal, the overriding memory for me and a lot of people associated with TNS will be that Scott Quigley goal, when immediately he turned, ran towards you, finger pointing at you, and you were mobbed, in the nicest sense of the word, by the players. That must have been a very special moment.
Yeah, it was, because it shows the togetherness. It shows the group we are together, like we have been for the last 5-6 years, and it underlines that fact that we've got a good group of players here. We're all in it together, and it shows that yes, we didn't perform well in the home leg, and everyone thought, what's going on here? Is there a change? Is there a slide? Is there a complacency? I don't think it was that. I just thought that the team we played against were just a bit better quality opposition. The second leg, the togetherness was there, and I just knew, I had a feeling that we were going to win the game. As soon as we got those 2 goals and we were 2-0 up against 11 men, I thought we'd go on to win 3, 4, whatever it was. And obviously at the end of the game, I was drained. I've got to be honest, I was drained, because going into extra time as well. For me, it was just a matter of when we'd score, and I just prayed that it wasn't going to go to penalties, because I knew that we were going to go out on penalties. We were going to go out on penalties. I just knew it. I had that feeling. I was glad that we scored in extra time and got that vital goal.
As you say, arrived at the club 2001 as a player. At what point did you realise during your career that you would then go on not only to captain the side, but also to be involved in the academy, the wider setup, and then ultimately to become the manager?
Yeah, I've got to be honest, when I first signed, it was non-contract basis. It was 2001. I don't think the club had won the year before. They come second, I think. I'm not too sure. It was when I'd left Chester. I'd still had 4 or 5 months on my contract at Chester, and a few people might have been thinking, why you're leaving full-time Chester in the conference to come to TNS. There's two factors in why I came to TNS. One was best mate of mine, John Lear, was already there. Another was Ken McKenna. Ken McKenna's been a great influence on my career as a player and what have you. So there were two big reasons why. I knew the club wanted to go on the up, they were on the rise, and I wanted to become part of it. I think there was 3 or 4 players on a full-time basis at the time. So I knew that the club were going places, and I just thought, yeah, it's time for a change. I'd been in the English system for a couple of years, wanted to go back, and I knew those roots from my time at Newtown. And yeah, from then on, obviously playing year in, year out for TNS, sort of realised that yes, I wouldn't mind going into a bit of coaching, but I would never say that from then when I signed I wanted to be the manager and all that. I think it was a gradual thing, and sort of being at the club so long, it was a natural progression for me, and thoroughly enjoyed my time here.
And taking on the role today officially, they are big shoes to fill, because Craig Harrison, Carl Darlington have been very successful at the club. How much pressure is there on you personally to take on this new role?
Yeah, there's always pressure, whatever job you take, new role, whatever. But you know, to win the league and to get 12 trophies out of 14 in the last 5.5 years, you know, there's pressure on myself to go and do it again. Don't get me wrong, I want to do exactly the same. Why shouldn't we? We've got the same players, we've got the same beliefs, we've got the same aspirations. The staff are hungry, successful people. The players are hungry and successful. There's no complacency going to be here on our part, I can tell you that. Myself and Steve, we've won everything you can do in the Welsh system as players, as assistants. So I don't see any reason why we're going to change. The minute we start thinking that we've already won the league and we've already won the cups is the time that we'll be replaced. And mark my words, that's not going to happen at TNS as far as I'm concerned and as long as I'm here.
And you mentioned Steve, because yours is not the only appointment today.
Yep.
The assistant manager is Steve Evans, someone that you've been involved with on the pitch as a player, but also off it as well. So there's a smooth transition there with both of you continuing to work together in the first team.
Yeah, he's fantastic, Steve. I played in front of him for TNS for a number of years. We had a great relationship. You know, we didn't always see eye to eye as in what we should be doing on the pitch, because we were both hungry sort of people that wanted to do best for the team. You know, we'd have our odd disagreement, but there was one thing that we were both, and that was winners. We both wanted to win every single game, every single training session. We wanted to be the best. So really, for those types of people to be involved with the club, I think we're in a good sort of place at this moment. You know, there's no one I'd rather have underneath me, alongside me, whatever you want to call it, managerial role. I think it's a brilliant appointment as well.
Scott Ruscoe, all the very best to both yourself and Steve Evans in the upcoming Welsh Premier League campaign.